Hi, good evening, everyone. We are from Group 3, and today we're going to present our mock teaching session. And before that, I would like to introduce our group members. We have Miss Esther, Miss Elvon, Mr. Alvin, Miss Katie, and myself, Miss Tharani. All right, without any delay, we'll go into our mock teaching session. Thank you. All right, hi students, good to see you all again. Now, today we're going to go into a new topic. It's going to be so exciting. Now, before we go into that topic, now I have a very special song for you. I think you'll like it. Just give me a minute. I'm going to share it with you. Yes, I'm going to play the video for you, okay?
Float, sink, float, sink. What about this metal spoon? What do you think? It sinks. Let's explore, let's find out what floating and sinking's all about. Come and join me, let's find out. Will it sink or float? Let's try something heavy. What about a big old key? Will it float like the leaf? Let's see. Will it sink or float? It sinks. Sink. Float. Sink. Float. Sink, sink, sink. Float, float, float. Floating along like a boat. Some materials sink down, 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 when others just stay on the top floating around. So what's it all about? What makes things sink or float? Armband, rubber ring, baby swimming chair. Blow them up with air. Paddling pool, beach ball, little blow-up boat. Metal key, money, a hook for your coat. If it weighs the same or less than water pushing up, we call the object buoyant. It stays up, up, up. If it's buoyant, it'll float on by. But if it's not, it'll sink. Bye-bye. We've explored, we've found out what floating and sinking's all about. Come on, let's all shout out. We know what sinks and floats. Sinking and floating, sinking and floating. We know what it's about. Now why don't you try it out?
All right, we are back. Now, I think by now you should know what topic we are going to talk about, right? All right, today we are going to talk about float or sink. Okay, now before that, we are going to look at some slides first for us to get some idea on what is floating and what is sinking. All right, so let's look at the slides. All right, children. Can you see the slides, children?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Right,
teacher.
that's great. Okay, float or sink. Let's look at that. Now, how do we know if an object will float or sink? Okay, now let's try these objects in a container of water and see what happens. Now, a lolly stick. You know what's a lolly stick, right? A bouncy ball, a cork, a sponge, a stone, a marble, and an apple. Apple is not only for eating, we can test it out also. Now, who can tell me, what do you think? What do you think? A lolly stick, will it sink or float? Who would like to try? Come on,
Teacher,
come on.
would like to try.
Yes,
It will float.
it will float. Okay, let's look at it first. Let's try. What about a bouncy ball?
Teacher, I think is sink. I think it's
It.
sink.
Okay. All right. We'll see. Cork.
Teacher, can I try?
Yes, please.
cork will float, I think.
You think, okay. What about the sponge? Come on, come on.
I think sponge will float.
You think it will float, okay. Stone?
Sink.
Sink, okay. Marble?
I think marble is heavy, so it will sink.
Okay. Apple?
Apple is also heavy. I think it will sink.
You will. Okay, let's see, yeah. All right, we are learning together. Okay, so we have made the prediction, isn't it? Yeah, we have made the prediction. Because, and also the other part is, when you try, it will help a lot if you hold and feel the object. But since we are doing it online, we're just going to observe, do some observation first, okay? All right. Okay. Now, before that, why do some objects sink? Which items sank? Which floated? Okay, let's see. Density. What is density? Okay, before, who can tell me? Who knows what is density? Or shall I just move on? Okay, never mind lah. We'll talk about it first. We'll talk about it later. Now, objects like marble, coins and stones are more dense than water. Okay, their tiny molecules are really close to each other, very tight. They are packed tight. Now, when you put them in water, they sink to the bottom. All right. Okay, but objects like cork, wood and sponge are less dense than water. Their tiny molecules are further apart, so they float on water. All right, objects that are hollow. Hollow means like balloon, right? Balloon, it has air inside. It also floats. This is because air is less dense than water. Okay? Okay, let's see, huh? Okay, what about shape? What about shape? Do you think when the shape changes, the ability to sink or float changes too? Yes, it does. It does, you know, it does. Now, the shape of an object matters too. When more of the surface of an object is touching the water, let's say like a big, like a long tray, or have you seen the coconut tree, the leaf of that coconut tree, or the palm tree kind of thing? Right? It can float. Yes or not? Right. Now, when more of the surface of an object is touching the water, the object floats better. Okay, let's try that next. Does the shape matter? What do you think will happen if you drop a ball of plasticine into water? Yes, it sinks because the material is more dense than water. You see? Because it is packed together. This time, change the shape of the ball into a boat shape. You know what a boat shape is, right? It's a, yeah, you know a boat shape. It's like that. And it's like, you know, it's like, it has some space inside there. Do you think it can float? Do you think it will float? Yes, because more space is touching the water. Okay. What is buoyancy? All right. This is something different. It's very important. Let's look at it also. When more of the shape is touching the water, it is more likely to float. Now, the object pushes against the water. Like, have you seen a big boat? The bottom of the boat pushes the water, but the water pushes the boat back. So that's why the boat, big, huge boat or ship, they can float, isn't it? Now, if lots of the object is touching the water will push it back enough to make the object float. This means the object is buoyant, even if the material is dense. Like metal. Metal is very heavy, isn't it? But boats are made of metal too. How did it float? Because it is very buoyant. A large space from the boat touches the water. So when it pushes the water pushes it back, allowing it to float. Okay. Can you make the boat sink by adding stones or marbles into it? How many does it need to make it sink? Maybe we can take a small plasticine next time, and then we make a small boat, let it sit on the water, and we try dropping in stones or marbles to see if it sinks. Okay, that's our experiment. That's one thing that we may do later, yeah? Okay, let's look at surface tension. Now let's investigate what happens when you put a metal pin or paper clip into water. Okay, what do you think will happen? What will happen if I put a metal pin, the pin with the head, into the water? What do you think will happen? Who would like to try? Guys?
It will float.
You think it will float? Okay, let's see first. Now, metal is more dense than water, so perhaps it will sink, right? Let's find out. What do you need? Now, this one is for our experiment, yeah? This one we can do later, but let's just look at it first. A large container to hold water, tissue paper, metal pins or metal paper clips, washing up liquid or soap, the one that you use to wash your dishes, right? That, and cotton buds. Optional, you can take a magnet if you have. Okay, what do we do? Okay, fill the bowl full of water and let the water settle. Okay, gently place a sheet of tissue paper on the water surface, then put the metal pin or paper clip on top. Okay, let's see. Now carefully remove the tissue paper. The pin or paper clip should remain floating on the surface. Okay, you could use a magnet to pull it across the surface to show how it moves around on top of the water. Now these are experiments that we can do later. Now dip one end of the cotton bud in the washing up liquid, the soap, the liquid, for washing up liquid, yeah? And then put the end without the washing up liquid onto the surface of the water first. Nothing should happen because we are not putting anything into the water. Now, with the other end, touch the water surface. The pin or paper clip should now drop suddenly into the bottom. Now, why should it fall into the water? Because we just put in some liquid inside, some soap liquid. Here is what happens, surface tension. Okay, we are looking at surface tension. The surface tension of the water is holding its molecules together strongly. The pin floats on top of the surface. Now they all are close. It's holding together very closely, very strongly. However, soap like detergent and washing up liquid breaks up the bond between the molecules. It breaks up the strength of it, okay, and then makes the tension weaker. All right, now the surface tension breaks and the pin can fall through. Like what you see why do we use soap to wash our dishes? Why? Because soap can break up the oil molecules on the plate on our dishes, right or not? It breaks up and then that's why your plate is clean, right? Similarly, here it breaks the tension, surface tension of the water. Like that, yeah. Okay. How strong is surface tension? Investigate how many pins can float on the water's surface at once. Okay, that we can do later, yeah? Okay, real life examples. Pond skaters and other pond creatures use surface tension to stay on top of the water. We always see some creatures, small insects on top of the water, isn't it? It doesn't sink. They use the surface tension to stay afloat. Okay, like boats. Boats can float on the water because they are less dense than water. The hull of a boat is hollow and the shape helps it to stay buoyant as well. Remember just now we spoke about the plasticine, making it into a boat shape? Yeah, the shape helps. There are so many things that help things to float. Let's try this. Okay, What have we learned about floating and sinking? Now you need to give me the answer. Okay, let's try. If a material is more dense than water, it will usually sink. True or false? True or false?
True.
You think so? All
True.
right. Yay!
Yes.
Esther, correct. Very good. Now, next one. You can't make an object float by changing its shape. You cannot make an object float by changing its shape. True or false?
False.
Who said that? Who said that?
False. I think it's false. Not sure.
Okay, Alvon. Okay,
Alvon.
let's see. Yay! You are right, Alvon. Changing its shape may make it more buoyant, so it will float. Very good. That means you have been following the lesson well. Very good. Give you sticker later. Huh? Washing up liquid or soap helps objects float. Yes or true or false? Hello?
False.
Really? All right,
Yeah.
clever girl. Yes, washing up
stickers for
liquid or soap. 2 stickers for you. Can. Or soap weakens surface tension, so objects floating on the surface will sink. Very good. I'm so glad that you have been following the lesson. Very good. Okay, that's about it for our slides. Yay, we are done.
Yeah.
Good job. Good job,
Miss
everyone.
Tharani,
Yes.
when we swim, is it also the same?
Yes, you are right. Okay, let me stop the presentation first. Hold on, give me a minute.
Teacher.
Yes.
Just now I say bouncing ball is sink, so I'm wrong.
Yes, but it's okay, Kathy. It's all right. We are learning together. See, we know that bouncy ball is it's not dense, isn't it? It's not dense. It is airy. It is filled with air. So air is less dense than water. So it will float. But that's all right. We are learning together, isn't it? All right. Very good. Yes, it will float too. Very good.
When we swim, is it because of the buoyant? That's why we float, because the large surface of us is touching the water.
Yes, you are right. Yes. And you see, people who are small or big, they will not sink. Usually, we will not sink actually. When you lie down on the water, if you balance your body properly, you will never sink. Well, there are some cases where people drown. That's because they struggle. It's not about you are not denser than water anyway in any time, right? It is always because of the buoyant, how buoyant it is. All right, good.
All right.
All
good.
right, we go to the
Thank
next
you.
section. We had a good session just now, right? And I'm so happy that all of you paid a lot of attention. That's very important. So now, as a treat for you, I'm going to give you a video on the same topic. Yeah, we're going to learn more about it. All right? Okay, let's go to the video.
Kids want to know. Have you ever taken a bath or played in a swimming pool, lake, or ocean? Maybe you've noticed that there are some things that make really good bath or pool toys, and other things, well, not so much. The term buoyancy refers to how well something floats or sinks. If something is able to float, we would say that it's buoyant. So, what makes something float or sink? Generally, we can determine if something can float by feeling its weight. Usually, if something is light, it floats or is positively buoyant. If it's heavy, then it sinks or is negatively buoyant. This is an easy enough explanation for us to accept, right? But the idea becomes shaky when we consider why something really, really heavy, like a cruise ship, is able to float. To understand this, we need to understand the concept of density. Density is the amount of stuff or mass something has inside of it, compared to its volume or size. For example, if we look at this bucket full of sand, we would say that it's more dense than this identical empty bucket, because the bucket full of sand has more stuff. It's got more mass. Another example is this bowling ball. It has more mass than a basketball because a basketball is full of air, but a bowling ball is full of stuff. So even though the bowling ball is smaller, it's more dense than the basketball. So what does this have to do with buoyancy? The next concept we need to tackle is called Archimedes' principle. Archimedes was a mathematician and philosopher who lived in ancient Greece. He had been stumped on a problem he was trying to figure out for the king, so he decided to take a bath. When he was sitting in the bath, he noticed that the water level rose when he went into the bath. Let's pretend that this block is Archimedes. See how the water level goes up when the block goes into the water? This means that in order to make space for his body in the bath, the water had to get pushed around in the bath, making the water level rise. The story goes that he was so excited by this discovery that he jumped out of the bath and ran naked down the street to his laboratory shouting, "Eureka!" which means, "I've got it!" Basically, what Archimedes' principle helps us to understand is that if an object is heavier than the amount of water that it's displaced, or is something very dense, the object will sink, like the bowling ball. And if the object is lighter than the amount of water it is displaced, or something not very dense, the object will float, like the basketball. So, back to our cruise ship problem. Even though a cruise ship is very heavy, it's also very, very large. Most of the ship is also hollow, so it's not as dense as you might think. Because of this, just like the basketball, the ship is actually lighter than the water it's displaced, causing it to float. Did you know? Submarines dive by allowing water to fill part of the submarines, called ballasts. The air gets vented out until the density of the sub is enough to make it sink. Ships also use ballasts for balance. Without them, they have a tendency to tip in windy weather. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.
Students, how was your breakfast? Did you enjoy it?
Yes.
What did you eat, Esther?
I had sandwiches, egg sandwiches.
Wow, I like it. How about Katie?
I had some biscuit.
Wow, my favorite. How about Alvin? Oh, okay. How about Tharani?
Nasi lemak.
I love nasi lemak. Oh, okay. You make me hungry, Tharani. Okay. let's go into our experiment. Are you guys excited?
Yes.
Okay. So first of all, teacher will show you a video first. Okay. After the video, then we'll do hands-on experiment. All right? Can? Alright, now I'll play the video.
Have you ever tossed some sticks into a pond? Or maybe you like to bring a bunch of toys into the tub? Either way, you've probably found that not all objects act the same when they're in the water. Some things sink right to the bottom, while other things float on the top. Why does that happen? Well, I brought some friends to see if we can figure that out.
Hi everyone, my name's Webb,
And hi, I'm his sister Bill. Since we live in a pond, we see a lot of things sink.
and a lot of things float.
I bet! You know, you can actually learn a lot about something by seeing what it does in the water. So I'd say this calls for an experiment. First, we'll need a pretty big container of water. We'll fill it about 3/4 full and set it up where it's okay if some splashes out. Now we need some stuff to put in the water.
All kinds of different stuff.
We're gonna look for a couple things around the fort that are okay to get wet. If you wanna try this experiment at home, make sure you ask before you put anything from your house into the water. Let's see what we found. All right, Squeaks found a penny, I found a stick, and Bill and Webb, they found 2 different spoons, a metal one and a plastic one. Good job, guys! Now, before we get started, let's take a closer look at what we'll be testing. All of these things are made out of different materials, like metal, plastic, and wood. Some of them are pretty small, and some are a little bit bigger. I think we have a pretty good group of objects because they're all pretty different. Now, before we start putting things in the water, let's guess whether each one will sink or float. And let's keep track of our guesses. But how will we... Great idea, Squeaks. We'll use a chart. All right, let's start with the stick. Bill, Webb, what do you think? Will it sink or float?
Whack.
Quack, 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 quack.
I can tell you guys are pretty excited. Tell us what you're thinking.
Well, in the pond where we live, I've never seen sticks that have sunk. Only ones that float.
Well, that's because you haven't seen the ones that have sunk.
Well, that's because they all float, Webb.
Okay, fine. Put me and Bill down for the stick floats.
Okay, here we go. And it floats. Good job, you two.
Yay!
Next, let's try the metal spoon. What do you think? Will it sink or float?
Well, I've never seen a spoon float.
Me neither.
Quack?
Quack, quack, quack. We think it'll sink.
Okay, let's see. It sinks.
Yeah, we're the smartest ducks in the world.
Yeah.
Now, what about the plastic spoon? Do you think it will sink or float?
Quack, quack,
Quack.
quack,
Quack, quack.
quack, quack. Well, it's the same shape as the other spoon.
Yeah, and we think it might sink, just like the metal spoon did.
Okay, let's see. It floats.
Oh,
Bummer.
Well, that's okay, guys. That's how we learn, right?
Yeah, I guess. It's just weird. The other spoon sank.
Well, let's record our results and see if we can find out why it sank after we test our next object. Our next object will be the penny. Do you think it will sink or float?
Well, a penny feels a lot like a metal spoon, so I think it'll sink.
All right. And Webb, what do you think?
well, it's so light, but kind of small, and I don't usually see things that small floating. I'll have to agree with my sister this time. It's gonna sink.
It sinks! Good job!
Whoa!
Now that we've tested all of our objects, let's look at our chart. Some of the objects floated and some of them sank. Let's see. The metal spoon and the penny sank. The plastic spoon and the stick floated. Is there anything that's the same about the things that floated and the things that sank?
Well, we know that the metal thing sank, and the metal spoon feels kind of heavy.
But so does the stick, and the stick floated while the spoon sank, so maybe it's not all about how much something weighs or its shape?
You're right, and that might help us explain why some things float and some things sink. The answer has to do with something called density. Everything, and I mean everything, is made of tiny particles that we can't see. And how dense an object is depends on how much space is between those particles.
Particles?
Jesse, what the quack is a particle?
Now that's an awesome question. Let's use our imaginations and pretend that particles are marbles. We'll start with a bunch of marbles on a table. If you had the marbles all right next to each other, that's kind of how the particles would look inside an object that's dense, like the metal spoon. But if those marbles were spaced really far apart, that'd be more like what the particles are like in something that's less dense, like the plastic spoon. The metal spoon is more dense than the plastic spoon. It's about the same size and shape, but the particles that make it up are closer together than the particles that make up the plastic one. But remember, everything has density, including water.
What?
It's true! Since water has its own density, if something is more dense than the water it's in, it'll sink. The metal spoon and the penny were more dense than the water, so they sank. And the stick and the plastic spoon were less dense than the water, so they floated. So will it sink or will it float? It depends, in part, on density. How did your experiment go?
Did you make some wrong guesses like us?
I bet you got some right.
Let us know what you use in your experiment and how it turns out. Just get help from a grown-up and leave us a note in the comments below, or send us a picture at kids@thescishow.com, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, did you guys enjoy the video?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Yes. All right, let us try the experiment then. Did you guys bring all your items? Are you guys ready?
Yes, ready.
Wow, super awesome. All right, so just a reminder for those who are not yet, who have not got all your items, the spoon, plastic spoon, the metal spoon, the twig, coin, and color pencil or crayon. And you can also grab any random item from your house. So I give you 30 seconds. You can grab any item that is on your table or anything whatsoever.
Ready, teacher.
Done?
Got pen.
I found a Lego.
Got paper clip.
I found a durian, fake one. Okay. Chocolate.
Okay.
I click. I think I'm done. You guys ready?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so let us start with the items that everyone has. That is the metal spoon. Do you think it will sink or float?
Think.
Okay, let's try. Yay! It sinks.
Yay.
Okay, next item. How about the plastic spoon? Do you think it will sink too?
Float.
Yes? Float? Okay, let's try. Ta-da-da-dum. Yay! It's floating. Yay!
Teacher, do we need to take them out?
Up to you. I will just leave it, but you can take it out if you want to.
Okay.
Next one is the coin. Do you have your coin ready?
Yes, I have 50 cents.
Mine is, I'm not sure, 20 cents.
Me too, teacher. 20 cents.
I have 20 cents.
50.
Okay. Okay, let's try. What do you think before we try? Sink or float? How many things you will sink?
Sink.
Sink?
Sink.
Okay.
Float.
Sing.
Okay, let's try. Let's try. Ta-da-da-da. It
Oh.
sank. Yay. Okay, next one is the twig.
It's so fun. Teacher, I don't have a twig. I have a toothpick.
It's fine. It's fine. As long as it's a wooden.
Okay.
Ready? Alvin, are you
use
ready?
pencil.
Okay. Can.
Oh yeah, pencil.
Smart boy. Okay, let's try. Do you think it will float or sink before we try?
Float.
Float? Float?
Float,
Anyone
float.
answer, please? Any other answer? No? Float? Okay, let's try it. Ta-da! It floats.
It floats.
Yay!
Pencil is also floating.
Wow.
You can see. Oh yeah,
Okay,
mine
and
also.
the other is
What's
color
that?
pencil or crayon? Color
Crayon.
pencil.
Crayon.
I have a green one.
I got
Let's
crayon.
think of floats.
Can I use other items?
Yeah. Can. Let's try. And let's try. Do you think it will sink or float?
Float.
Okay,
Float.
let's try. Ta-dang!
Oh, my crayon sank.
Oh, my crayon
My
float.
crayon sing.
Okay, it's fine. Maybe the
Different
material is
crayon.
slightly different. Okay, you can try with your random items. I will try with my Lego first. We will go one by one, okay? Lego, who thinks it will float or sink? What do you think?
I think it will
Lego.
float.
Float now.
Float.
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 Yeah,
Float.
and float. Okay, let's try. So united, you guys. Ta-dang! Oh,
Yay.
floats. Okay, who wants to try next?
I want to try marble.
Okay, try marble. I have marble also. Wait. Okay, let's try together. What do you think before you try? Will it sink or float, Alvin?
Maybe it will float.
Okay, let's try. Let's try. Ta-da-dang.
Oh no!
Oh, it sank. It's okay.
Oh.
We went together. It's fine. It's an experiment. Okay, it sank. It's okay. Let's try the next one. Katie, you want to try the next one?
Yes, I have eraser. It's a craft.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow.
That's so cool.
So cool. Will it sink or float? Oops, it's working down. Will it sink or float? Okay, interesting.
So heavy,
Okay.
your eraser.
Heavy eraser.
Dense. It's dense.
I have
Dance,
to
that's
ask
right.
Esther or
What do you
Tharani?
think? What do you all think? Ice will float or sink?
What's
Alvin,
that?
you wait first, okay? Hold on little while, yeah. Let others try. Tharani or Esther?
Okay, I try first. I
Okay,
have a
Tharani.
plasticine.
Faster
And
thing, okay.
plasticine.
Alright, just try.
I also have one.
Oops.
Oh, it sank.
It sank.
Oh,
It sank.
Brand two.
plasticine is
Okay,
dense.
Thank you. Esther, you have any
I-
idea you want to try?
Into a
Alvin, it's my turn.
book shape.
Okay, Esther, try. Yeah, just hold on.
I have a ping pong ball.
Wow, okay. What do you think? It will sink or float?
It will float.
Okay.
It's hollow inside.
Let's try.
Whoa.
Yay, it floated. Nice. Anyone else want to just randomly just put objects in? Yes.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
have rabbit. Rabbit.
So
You- My rabbit maybe can swim, maybe can float. Is it?
okay, let's try.
Let's try.
Yeah, it can swim. It's
Oh.
Oh, nice. Alvin wanted to try something.
What do you think for this bouncy ball?
Bouncy ball.
Oh, okay, bouncy ball. Okay, go. What do you think? Float or sink?
I'm not sure.
Okay, just try. It's an
It's-
experiment. Just try.
It's rubber,
guess.
right?
Let's guess.
It's rubber, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Oh, it floated.
Teacher, can I try this?
Sure.
My
Tharani.
plasticine, I changed its shape. I want to try.
Oh, I think Alvin has
And
one
also
too,
try
right?
with you together.
Yes,
Okay, both
let's
of
try
you
together.
Wow.
1, 2, 3. Ayo, mine sank lah.
Oh.
Mine float.
It's floating.
Maybe mine is small.
You see, I see mine float.
Good.
Yeah, mine is small.
Why?
Maybe
Why is that so? Why?
mine is less buoyant than his?
Oh, yes.
Larger
correct.
surface?
Yeah, his is larger surface. Mine is smaller.
Hmm.
Good.
Okay.
Okay.
I want to try one more. It's my hair clip.
That's
And
big,
anyone want
teacher.
to guess whether it will float or sink?
so
I
big.
think it will sink.
I think it will float.
I think so, because so big.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's try.
Float.
Ta-da!
What
It
is it?
sank.
It's
Yeah, it
sand.
was.
Yeah, all
It's
right.
denser.
One last
Heavy.
item for me.
Whoa.
Let's made of paper. Do you think it will float or sink?
Do you still have milk inside?
No, empty.
Empty box.
It will float, teacher.
Yes, sure.
Hmm.
Any other answer? Everyone agree?
Yes.
Teacher, you like
Float.
chocolate milk?
Is
Teacher,
there
you like
anything
chocolate
inside the
milk?
box?
Yes, my favorite.
I also.
Do you like those,
Oh.
Kitty?
Yeah.
Aw. Yeah, it's
Is
my
there
favorite.
any
Good, let's
liquid in
try. Sorry, come again?
Is there any liquid in the box?
No more already. No more liquid. It's
I think
empty.
it will float.
Okay, let's try. You think it'll float? Ta-da! It floated! Yay!
What?
Good job, guys.
Good
Excellent.
job.
Okay, see you next
It is
time.
fun. See you.
Okay, let's us move on to play the games. Okay, whack the mouse. Okay, firstly I'll show you how to play this game. You just hit the mold accordingly which one will float or sink. I'll show you the objects here through the picture. Okay, ping pong ball will float, right, students?
Yes.
Yeah, later on you just do as what I did just now. Okay, now I'll give you the link. You all can go to play this game. Hi students, from the game we can see that there are some items that can float on the water and there are some sink in the water. So what do you think? Which items can sink or float? Any response? Yeah.
Feather can float.
Lego can float.
Bath toy can float.
Ping pong ball.
And
Oh, I
crayon can float.
Okay. What about those items that will sink?
Coin.
Teacher.
Coins, shillings.
Dry pasta.
Pebbles.
Huh?
Dry pasta.
Oh, okay. Yeah, great.
Yes. Eraser
Thank you.
too.
Oh, okay. All right.
Teacher, who scored? Who got the highest mark?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's check it out together. Oh, Kathy, you get the highest score among all. Excellent.
Wow.
Yay.
Well done.
Yay.
Oh man, teacher, I only got 4.
Later, I bring you to buy an ice cream. Okay?
Teacher, I want
Thanks,
McDonald's. I want
for other
McDonald's. I want
students for
McDonald's. I
participating.
don't want ice cream. I don't want ice cream. I want
Thank you
McDonald's.
others for participating. I will give you all one sticker.
Yay!
You can choose the
Yay.
sticker you like the most. No issue. Thank
teacher.
you. Congratulations, Kathy. See you all later.
Bye.
Okay, students, here we go for the quiz. For the question 1, what does float mean?
Teacher, float means
Yeah.
on the water.
Means the object is able to float on the water. Yeah, you're right, Kathy. Well done. Okay, now we move on to the second question. Why does a ping pong ball float? Can other students answer this question?
Ping pong ball has air inside, teacher.
Yeah,
It's hollow.
hollow.
So it's less dense, so it floats.
Oh, yeah, it's less dense than the water, so it floats on the water. Okay, very good. We go for question 3 now. Okay. What does sink mean? What does sink mean to you? Okay.
Sink means. Yeah.
Okay,
actually,
I want.
go ahead. Oh, okay, me.
Okay.
Sink means the object goes down below the surface of the water, teacher.
Okay, alright. Okay, so why does a coin sink?
It's less dense.
Who is answering?
No, it's
Okay,
more
Esther.
dense. Sorry. The
It's more
coin
dense.
is more dense than the water.
Okay, you know what is the reasoning behind?
Mm,
Can you try? Because the
yeah.
molecules
The molecules, they are
in the coin
is
tightly they are
tightly
tightly
packed
packed together.
together. Yes.
So results that is more dense. So it will
Yes.
sink under the water. Okay.
Under the water.
So far
yes.
so good. Students, so far so good.
Yes,
Good.
teacher.
Okay, let's do an MCQ question. Which object will float on the water? What do you think?
The egg, teacher.
The A, alright.
Egg.
Okay, alright. Okay, last question before we wrap up the lesson. Okay, the ability to float in a liquid is known as
Buoyancy.
Buoyancy.
Good job.
Yay.
Okay. So today we end our lesson day now. Okay, hope you all have a good day ahead. See you all. Bye bye. Thank you.
Thank you,
teacher.
teacher.